Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a review for you of this little guy. This is the USG TiScribe Pencil. So I've previously reviewed the TiScribe Bolt, which is a pen-based version of this same basic idea, where the pocket clip is also the thing that actuates the pen. But I also at the time picked up the pencil version of this because, you know, hey, why not? The pen had impressed me, so let's check out the pencil. And so today we're going to take a look at that. First off, let's do a little size comparison. First off, against the pen version. You can see here it is exactly the same size, although the clip is mounted lower on the pencil version for, reasons of the pencil insert there. Here it is against a Bic Click Stick sort of pen. Here it is right up against the Pilot G2. Here it is against a pen I stole from Hampton Inn. Sorry about that, Hampton Inn. And here it is against the Prometheus Alpha pen, which is one of my very favorite everyday carry sorts of pens. So there you go. And then finally, a quick note on the maker. This is USG Urban Survival Gear. They are contrary to what the name may sound, they are a purveyor of some very high-quality pens, really geared towards the everyday carry world, making durable products that actually work pretty well. So, go ahead and check them out. But all right, let's go ahead and jump into the good, the great, the bad, and the ugly of this very interesting little mechanical pencil here. So, first off, on the good side, honestly, it works fine as a mechanical pencil. Grab my paper here. I mean, I can deploy it because you pull the clip down to deploy the pencil lead. And see here, as I do this, it pulls the lead out further. Put a little too much lead out there. But anyways, it works fine. See, I'll write it out. Works fine. Exclamation point. Well, that's works 5, but, works 5 too. If you want to use it 4 times, then use the 5th, it works. But look, no, I mean, seriously, it works well as a mechanical pencil, and that's because, well, they're using a decent mechanical pencil insert. As you can see here is that this has the titanium body, and then it's got this little guy inside here, a Schmidt system for mechanical penciling. And if you want to refill the lead, you can just put it right inside there. You can probably see a little bit of lead rattling around on the inside there. But look, I mean, it's a fine little approach. And it works, it writes well for a mechanical pencil. It's a mechanical pencil, of course. But yeah, that works well. And it's a 0.5 lead, probably 0.5 millimeter, I would hope. Lead. And so, yeah, there you go. Next thing, this is using the clip as the button. And this is nice because, A, it means that, well, there's less stuff sitting here on the barrel. You don't have, like, all the clickiness and whatnot, and that seems to work pretty well. If you're not writing all that much, like if you are constantly trying to get new lead, if you're constantly clicking, then I can see reorienting to get more lead on a regular basis being annoying, but, for my purposes, this worked absolutely fine, and it means there's less stuff going on here. There's less mechanical complexity. That's good. Next thing, this is nicely machined. I mean, you can see here it's a turned piece of titanium. This is the TI version. It's got these nice little grooves here, which give you plenty of traction. Not much in the way of difference here in terms of diameter and whatnot. The machining on this is absolutely solid. It's good overall machine work, which is good. The balance on this guy is also very nicely done. This feels very nice in the hand. It's lively. It does the trick 100%. And so all of those things to me are good. This has a great balance. It's nicely machined with good grip, grooves, and whatnot. The clip is button thing works pretty well. It works well as a mechanical pencil. There you go. That's good. On the great side for me, this is a very durable mechanical pencil. This could probably be run over by a truck and not have a whole bunch of problems. I mean, I don't know. I haven't run it over with a truck. I can't tell. But the thing is, there is nothing else. There is no, like, fragile stock at the back of it here. Very often, mechanical pencils have a, plastic thing on the back there that could very easily break or something like that. In fact, there is no external plastic on this guy at all. There is some plastic in the actual insert sort of thing. Screws in there. This is itself just a metal pen. It's just titanium. And you know what? That's really neat. I mean, this is something I would not hesitate to use as a pushing tool or something like that. I just hit my mat here. Whatever. This is something I wouldn't hesitate to use as a tool for something in addition to using as a pencil for writing with. And so that's kind of neat at some level. If you're looking for a super durable mechanical pencil, this is probably a decent choice. So that's the great. On the bad side, okay. First off, this little bottom break here, where this unscrews, I'd kind of like to see that be a part of this bottom groove. If they just move these down a little bit, they could very easily hide that transition and hide this screwing basically as a part of this here. It's a little detail, but I think it's a little detail that would make this a little more compelling. Or just use the same spacing between these guys and then this here. make it a little bit better. Not a big deal, but it's a little deal. Next thing, the top of the clip on this guy is still sharp. This is a complaint I had with the pen version of it, and it's the case here as well. You've got a little bit of a chamfer, but it's basically a 90-degree angle that you're jamming your finger against in order to unlock this pencil. Next thing, you notice that as I just did that, it's very easy as you put your finger in there for your finger to kind of get caught between the top of this guy and then this open track here. And so, again, that's something you get used to pretty quickly, but the first couple of times it can very easily bite you. Maybe something they can work on, particularly putting a little bit of a chamfer on the top of that might make that a little bit better. So, not a big deal, though. Next thing, I am, the action on this guy, meaning when I press this in, you can hear it sounds a little scrapey, a little scratchy. It's not a super smooth action. Part of that is dictated by the insert here, and part of that may just be a question of wear. Maybe if I use this for, hours and hours and hours and hours, I'll wear a nice track in the titanium. It'll smooth out a little bit more. But as it stands, not super smooth. It is also very tall above the clip. What I mean by that is, like I said, even if we compare it to the regular one here, there is a lot of pen sitting above the clip on this pencil, that is. There's a lot of pencil sitting above the clip, I guess. And what this means is that if you have pockets that, fold over, for instance, this is going to be, there's, damn near an inch of material sticking up above. Actually, don't even have to damn near it. Let's just measure it. It's actually about an inch, flat out, of material sticking up above the top of the clip here, and that's just not great. And this is actually easily avoidable because if we take a look inside here, you can see that the top of this plunger is approximately here, and this thing is approximately this deep. So there is very easily, I don't know, quarter inch that you could pull out of there just to make this a little bit shorter, and I wish that they had, both because it would be a shorter pen, which is always something I appreciate, and because right now it's just holding air and it doesn't need to hold that air. And so that is a little bit annoying, 100%. And so I'd like them to address that in the future. Finally, well, not quite finally, but close to finally, there is a very big difference in the overall, well, not very big, but there is a difference between this portion and how it is machined and finished more specifically. This seems a little bit darker than the rest of the pen. And so as a result, and that's indeed the case, you can see there's a little bit of a color variation on this guy as well. I understand that they're finishing these parts perhaps differently, with a different process, but as a result, it just doesn't quite match, and that's not something I'm super in love with. I hope they can work on that in the future. I'm nitpicking hard here, but you know what? Why not, right? And then finally, on the bad side, this is not inexpensive. This is an $80 mechanical pencil, and it's using off-the-shelf pencil guts here. So it's not like he's invented a brand new system for mechanical penciling that is better than anything ever been done before. It's fine, but it is very, very pricey, and it's a lot of money, and you're absolutely paying for style and durability here, rather than some serious improvement in the nature of mechanical pencildom. So that's the bad here, is that it is pricey. This part doesn't necessarily match the finish of the rest of it. It needs to be shorter above the clip here. That's getting to be pretty damned excessive, and it could easily be shorter if they just remove some of that extra gap there. It doesn't have a super smooth action. The top of the clip is still a little bit sharp, and it can kind of catch you in this little gap here, and then I would like to see this bottom break here be a part of this groove just to make it a little bit simpler to the eye. The ugly thing that you may be noticing already is that there is no eraser on this mechanical pencil. This is something that is kind of I realized it at one point in time. I'm writing, penciling. Then I go to make a correction. I flip the thing around. It's like, wait, what? No, there's nothing. And that's kind of a shame. Like I said, there is a bunch of space in here. This is hollow. This is hollow. And so I think it probably would be possible to machine a plug that has a hole for an eraser up here. Or even to find an eraser that would fit inside this. So if you need the eraser, you can just unscrew this and do one of these kinds of things. I mean, either one of those could be very nice options, do you? But ultimately, they didn't do either of those things, and it's not something I'm in love with. I really do wish that this had an eraser. And to be fair, you can carry an eraser with you, and the eraser you'd carry with you is going to be better than anything they'd put in the pencil, but that is an easy way to make a big improvement, because a mechanical pencil without an eraser is a little bit on the weird side. So there you go. Final conclusions on this guy. This is another one of those reviews that kind of boils down to, well, do you want it or not? Because for a huge number of people, the idea of an $80 mechanical pencil is absurd. There is nothing else about this but absurdity. And for those folks, the durability, design, machining just doesn't matter beyond that price tag. For them, it is by definition not worth doing. And for those people, well, I don't recommend it. It's not worth doing. But then there are the crazy ones, the people like me for whom excellent machining can be a thing. The people who think to themselves, well, I do want a really durable mechanical pencil, which is kind of a crazy thing to say to start with. The people who are willing to look past the little flaws, look past the price tag and the fact that this pencil doesn't have an eraser, and then still make this kind of purchase at that kind of price. So, final conclusion here, you don't need this pencil. I mean, you can get a pencil that will write just as well, much less expensively elsewhere. And it could certainly be better with a couple of tweaks. I mean, seriously, eraser and knock this down a little bit. But I can very easily see how even if you don't need this pencil, you could want this pencil, and it is absolutely a very nice object. And if you're looking for something along these lines, you know, it's hard not to recommend. So anyways, there you go. Hope this has been interesting to you, that you can pencil in my next review in your calendar. It was really weak. And that you have yourselves an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and that I led you properly. There we go. All right. Have a good one, everybody. Bye now.